This is my last video of 2022, so let's get reflecting. Hi, my name is Sarah, and my channel is all about sewing and styling a handmade wardrobe. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the garments that I wore the most in 2022. I'm going to talk about my Make 9 2022 and my plans for Make 9 2023. Then I'm going to share a few of my successes and fails of 2022, and then at the end we're going to wrap up with some goals for next year. There are two categories of clothing that I wore the most this year: activewear or exercise gear and loungewear. So rather than reading you off a list of sweatshirt after joggers, etc., I decided instead to share with you what I wore the most in each clothing category so we get a little bit more variety. I will be putting up pictures of me wearing each garment as I'm talking about it, and I will also link the patterns in the description box and if I have any videos that go along with it, so please do check there if you want more information about any individual garment. So the tops that I wore the most this year, the first one is the Sewaholic Renfrew top. This was made out of a bamboo jersey from Stylemaker back in 2018. It's been in my wardrobe for quite a long time, but the fabric has held up really well. It still looks relatively new. I haven't made the Renfrew top in a really long time. I have since discovered t-shirt patterns that I prefer to that pattern, but I do like the way that it fits. And the reason why I wore it so much is because I basically wore it as loungewear. I rarely wore it outside of the house, or I don't know if I ever did, but it is a very comfortable, cozy thing to put on when I'm just hanging around at home, and I think that's why it got so much wear. My second most worn top of the year was the Closet Core tee. I made this for the Sew Frugal Challenge back in February out of a cotton spandex jersey in this lovely mauve color. Now this one I did wear out sometimes as well as wearing it to lounge around at home, so I think that versatility is why I reached for it so much, and I do really like the fit of the t-shirt. It's very comfortable, and I do want to make more of these in the future. My most worn bottom of the year was a little bit of a surprise to me. It's the Megan Nielsen Dawn jean shorts. After I thought about it a little bit, it did make sense to me why I wore these so much. So for starters, jean shorts fit really well into my summer wardrobe. They go with pretty much everything, and so I do tend to wear them a lot. And also, I don't own that many shorts. And because I'm only talking about handmade clothing, I have even fewer handmade shorts. So I think I ended up wearing these again and again because it was kind of my only option, and so I reached for it a lot. Whereas with pants, I have a lot more variety, a lot more things to choose from, so it got less wear, if that makes any sense. But I am happy with these shorts. I like the way that they fit. They're pretty comfortable, and I'll definitely be looking into making more shorts next year. My most worn dress is probably no surprise. It's the Pattern Emporium Every Day's a Weekend dress that I made out of a red knit fabric from Art Gallery. This dress was just so incredibly comfortable that I just wanted to pull it out and wear it again and again. And I really love the fabric. Red is my favorite color, and I really like how pretty the dress is, but it's so comfortable. It feels like you're wearing pajamas. This was by far my most worn dress. Nothing else even came close to that one. For one-piece outfits, my most worn was my ready-to-sew jazz jumpsuit that I made into overalls. They were out of an olive linen fabric. I actually made two pairs of these, and I wore the other pair pretty frequently as well. But I wore the olive version just a little bit more. And I absolutely love these overalls. They're the perfect summertime loungewear outfit. I could just throw it on over a tank top or a t-shirt, and they were just so incredibly comfortable. I wanted to live in them. For activewear, my most worn pieces were the Sew You're Happy Liz bralette that I made in a gray fabric, and also my bike shorts that were a pattern. I think they're the Ninja leggings pattern from 5 out of 4. I really wore all of my activewear pretty constantly on a rotation, but I think because these pieces are older, they've been around longer, so I've been able to wear them more often. I could definitely stand to add a few more activewear pieces to my wardrobe in 2023. For loungewear, my most worn pieces were my black yoga pants that were a Green Style Creations pattern. I believe they were called the flare leggings. I absolutely loved these. They were a good basic, so comfortable. They have a nice high waist that stays up. And I just found myself reaching for them again and again. Every time they'd come out of the wash, I'd put them back on again. And then for the top, my most worn loungewear was the I Am Patterns rainbow hoodie that I made in a mauve cotton spandex French terry that I got from Serge Fabrics. This one is just so comfy and casual, and it's pretty lightweight, so it's nice and warm, but it's not too thick, and I can wear it pretty much any season, so I think that's why that one got so much wear. And lastly, for outer layers, my most worn outer layer piece was my trench coat that I made. It's a McCall's pattern. I can't recall the number, but I will put it up on the screen. And I made this in 2021, I think, and I've worn it quite a bit since then. I don't have a lot of me-made coats right now, and so that's probably why this one's pretty high up on the list, but I do wear it very frequently in the spring and the fall. And I plan to continue to wear it because it's going to last forever and it's never going to go out of style. So I really love that trench coat. Now let's chat briefly about my 2022 Make 9. I do have a few other videos about this topic, so I will put them down in the description box and also up in the cards. So I'm just going to quickly go over what I made. The first thing was to finish my Sawover 1960s coat, and I did manage to do that in December. Very proud that I made that. The second thing was to finish my mitered square blanket for my niece, and I did that very early on in the year. I still haven't sent it off to her. I need to get it in the wash and get it boxed up and mailed off to her for Christmas. But I'm so proud that I managed to finish that project that I actually started back in 2016. The third thing was to finish my Falkland sweater spin. Now it took me forever to do it, but I did end up finishing that. I was motivated over the Thanksgiving holiday to get some things done, and so I was able to finish that project, and that yarn is all ready to be knit now. The fourth thing was to knit an Erin's sweater, and I am working on that. Now, full disclosure, I am filming this right now on December 10th, so I still have a few weeks left before the year is over, and I'm pretty confident that I'm going to be able to finish that sweater because I am working on the sleeves right now, so I'm well over halfway. So technically this one isn't done just yet, but I really do think that I will be able to finish it by the end of the year. Number 5 was to make a sports bra. So I have made a few sports bras. You've already seen the Liz bralette, but I've also made this one from 5 out of 4. It's the Resolution sports bra, and I'll just put up a picture of that just to see that I checked that one off the list. Number 6 was a white button-up shirt. I made the Helen's Closet Cameron button-up, and it's one of my favorite shirts now. I wear it all the time. Number 7 was to make a pair of well-fitting jeans. So I did make a few pair of jeans this year. I think the one that probably qualifies the best as well-fitting is my Megan Nielsen Ash jeans. I made those out of a stretch denim, and they are the flare leg version, and I really like those jeans. They are super comfortable, although they are a tiny bit big in the waist, but better too loose than too tight. So I'm going to classify that as my well-fitting jeans, and I hope to continue to make more jeans that fit even better in the future. Number 8 was a Superstar Makes dress. I wanted to make a dress that made me feel special and beautiful when I wore it, and I think that I accomplished that. I made a vintage simplicity pattern out of a white viscose twill, and I wore this to my birthday dinner, and I did feel really beautiful and special in it. I have not worn it since, and I actually have considered possibly making the dress shorter. I think if I shorten it to just above the knee, I will actually get more wear out of it. It'll be a little bit more practical for my life, and I also won't have to worry about getting it dirty or like the hems dragging on the ground, and also the straps are pretty fragile. So if the dress is shorter, then it'll be less heavy, and I think that the straps might support it a little bit more. So I'm very seriously considering altering that dress, but at this point I probably won't do it until next spring. Even so, I still consider this dress a success because I wore it on my birthday and I did feel really special, and that's what the point of it was. And number 9 on my list was to make a neutral blazer, and this was another one that I just squeaked in at the end of the year. I made the Avid Seamstress the blazer out of a navy cotton flannel that I got from a needle sharp box. Navy to me is a neutral, and I know that I wear that blazer all the time, so I was able to tick that one off the list as well. So in all, I just have the one knitted sweater that I haven't finished yet, and like I said, I'm pretty sure I can get that done before the end of the year, and so I'm going to call my Make 9 of 2022 a 100% success. So I am absolutely thrilled that I was able to do that. In 2021, I also finished everything except for one piece. So because the past 2 years at Make 9 have been such a win for me, I decided to go ahead and keep it going. I think that the Make 9 challenge really works for me as a motivator, and I just have to bear in mind that normally I'm really excited about it in the beginning of the year, and then I'm really motivated to finish things at the end of the year, and in the middle of the year I might not think about it at all, and that is okay. I'm not going to put any pressure on myself or stress about having to complete the Make 9. If I don't do it, it's not a big deal. But I do think that for me, it's a positive challenge that has really helped me to make up some of these things that I've really always wanted to make. So I'm going to go ahead and do another one. So let's talk about that now. This year I've chosen to do 9 patterns, and I'm also going to be doing a Make 9 challenge for my Yarny crafts, but that's going to be over on my other channel, and I will link that down in the description box if you're interested in checking that one out. But for my sewing Make 9, I wanted to choose a nice variety of patterns that are different types of garments, some that are more challenging, some that are more simple, in the hopes that I could give myself the greatest chance of success. Number 1 is Berta 6829, which is a faux wrap dress. I really like the style of this dress, and I think that it would look really good on my body type. I don't have fabric for this, and I'm not in a super rush to make it, but I do think it would make a really nice dress that could be worn casually or more dressed up. Number 2 is Simplicity 9326. Now this one, I was specifically thinking about making it as my birthday dress in July. Usually I do like to make myself a new dress for my birthday, even if I'm not particularly doing anything special. I just like to feel pretty and dressed up on my birthday. And I think that this particular style of dress would really suit me. I like the square neckline. I don't know right now if I want to do the ruffle or leave it off, but I really like that straight silhouette with the A-line skirt and the slit in it. I think it could be really nice for a dressier occasion. And I haven't chosen fabric yet, but I do have a number of rayons that are really beautiful prints in my stash, so I'll probably pick one of those. Number 3 is to make another ready-to-sew jazz jumpsuit. I'm pretty sure there's over 80 variations of this jumpsuit that you can make, and I've only made 2, and both of them were the short overall versions. I would really like to make one of the jumpsuits. I haven't gotten any further than that, but I know that I definitely want to explore this pattern more because there's just so much variety in it, and I'm excited to make that probably in the spring or summer. Number 4 is the Sew Over It Pussy Bow blouse. This pattern has been in my stash for a few years now. I think I bought it in 2020 and I still haven't made it up. I really like the tie neck blouse style. I think that it's very suitable for work, and I'm not sure which view I want to do yet, and I haven't chosen fabric, but I definitely want to make that one in 2023. Number 5 is the Fiber Mood DD. I really like the look of this quarter zip pullover. It's very on trend right now and also very cozy. I like the idea of challenging myself to put a zipper in a knit garment. I don't know if I've ever done that before. And I think that it would just be so cozy and comfy to wear, but also a little bit elevated over just a plain sweatshirt. Number 6 is the I Am Patterns Hathor vest. This is another one that it comes with several different variations, so I don't know yet which variation I want to do. But I really want to make a cozy vest, and that's why I put this one on the list. Number 7 is the Chalk and Notch Evelyn skirt. This has 3 different views, and I don't know yet which view that I want to make. I like all 3. And I just have not had a chance to make this one. I bought the pattern a few months ago and I meant to make it for summer, and then I ran out of summer. But I do really want to make this pattern, so that's why I put it on my Make 9 list. Number 8 is the I Am Patterns Sunshine Jeans. I've really liked the I Am patterns that I've made before, and so I really want to try out this pattern. It's a little bit different for a jean style. It has a bit more of a balloon leg shape. It's a little bit looser, and I think that they could be really comfortable jeans. I have a lot of jeans patterns in my stash, and so I had a hard time narrowing it down to just one, but I think this is the one I'm most excited about making. And number 9 on the list is the Vicky Sews Bryce Blazer. Full disclosure, I did receive this pattern for free as part of my Vicky Sews brand ambassadorship, but I do really like the pattern. I've always wanted to make a cropped blazer. I feel like that style could really suit me because I'm very short. And this blazer does have a lot of tailored details, but now that I've made a few coats and jackets myself, I'm less scared of trying that, and so I do really want to challenge myself to make this blazer next year. I feel like the Make 9 challenge is really polarizing the sewing community. Either you love it or you hate it. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are about Make 9. As I said, I feel like it's been a really positive thing for me in my life. Let's move on to some of my successes and failures. So I just want to share with you a few things that were not great in 2022 for me. Thankfully, the list was actually quite small this year, and so I feel like I'm improving and making better decisions about the garments that I make, and also taking the time to make them work for me so that I don't have as many mistakes. The first fail that I'm going to share is a yellow swim cover-up that I tried to make out of some fabric that I was sponsored for free by Morex Fabrics. Now, the reality is I just don't really like the fabric, and so I guess when I made it, it was sort of a trial run. If I did like it, then eventually I might make it out of a nicer fabric. But I ended up not making it because they made it a drop waist dress, and I just feel like that silhouette doesn't work for me, or at least it doesn't in this particular iteration. I just really hated the way that it looked, and I never even ended up wearing it, and I gave it away. So I don't have it anymore. It's just not for me. The fabric quality was nice, but just the print just wasn't my style, and I wasn't really happy with it. So I'm just going to move on from there. My second fail was the Friday Pattern Company Adrian blouse. I just really hated the way that this top fit me. It just wasn't shaped for my body. It was a little bit too curvy and it stuck out in weird ways, and the neckline gaped, and it just was not my favorite thing. It was unfortunate because I really loved the color of the fabric, but this story actually has a happy ending because my best friend came to visit me in the fall, and I was able to pass the Adrian blouse on to her, and she actually put it on and it looked great on her. So I'm so happy that that blouse was able to get a second life with someone else. But it just didn't work for me. My third fail was a McCall's pattern. I don't remember the number, but I'll put it on the screen. And I made a pair of short leopard overalls. And I really think that the overalls were cute, and I did take the time to fit them in the legs, but the problem was that the bib was too wide and the straps kept falling off, and they were super, super annoying, and I couldn't stand to wear it. Now I still have these and I've had some thoughts on how to fix it. I'm thinking about unpicking the facing and then reshaping the bibs to be narrower and then drafting a new facing and then trying to put it back together so that the straps will stay in place on my shoulders, and I'd probably also make them a little bit shorter. I haven't had time to experiment with that yet, but maybe next summer I will find the time to try to fix them, because otherwise I do think that they are cute and I think that I would wear them. It's just the strap situation that's super annoying. And the last fail that I have to share with you is the seamwork Aberdeen. I made it out of a fabric that I don't like. It was a polyester jersey, and I just was not happy with the way that the pattern looked or the way that the fabric felt, and so this one has also been passed on. I don't have it anymore. Let's chat about something a little bit more pleasant, which was my favorite makes of 2022. Now this list, I am including things that I not only enjoy wearing, but things that I also love to sew. So I might wear a basic t-shirt more than I wear some of these other things, but it really wasn't special or fun to sew. These things I'm going to talk about were all a combination of both. The whole experience has been great. So the first thing was my black holographic bikini. I made this for a trip that I went on with my friend to Florida earlier in the year, and I got the fabric from Joanne. I really liked the design of the fabric, and I ended up using two different patterns. The first was the Friday Pattern Company Vernazza two-piece for the bottoms, and then I did the Sew Your Happy Liz bralette for the top. Now initially I did try to make the entire Vernazza two-piece, but the top did not work out for me, and that's why I ended up remaking the top. I had enough fabric to just do a simple sports bra looking top, and I really like the way that it looks. It's pretty comfortable to wear, and I was very proud of myself that I was able to make my own swimwear. The bikini top is also pretty useful because if I run out of sports bras, I can substitute that one and wear it as a sports bra as well. So it kind of has a dual purpose, and I found it very useful in my wardrobe. Number 2 is the Style Arc Berry pants. I made these out of a black linen that I got from Blackbird Fabrics. These were a total surprise. I've never worn pants with this shape before, and I just wasn't really sure I was gonna like it, but in the end I ended up loving it, and it goes with so many things in my wardrobe. I wore these pants constantly in the summer, and I'm sure that I will get them out summer after summer. They're just a really great, comfortable pant to wear, and they're also surprisingly flattering. Number 3 is my natural linen paper cut patterns Tula pants. I love the flow and drape of these pants. They're wide leg without being too wide. They're not overwhelming on me. They're incredibly comfortable, and I just love the way that they swish when you walk. I also took the time to get the fit right, and they're not perfect, but they're pretty darn close, and I'm very, very happy with the way that they look in the front and in the back. Number 4 is my plaid linen Cali shirt dress. I made this earlier in the summer. I got the fabric from Blackbird Fabrics. I really enjoyed the sewing process of this, and I also really love how comfortable the dress is to wear. I can wear it belted or unbelted. I've also worn it as a duster over an outfit. I just really like the versatility of this pattern, and I absolutely love the plaid. And this is another one that I just feel like is going to be in my closet for years to come. Number 5 is the Sew Over Eve wrap dress. I made this for a wedding or an anniversary party that my husband and I attended in May. I really love the fabric. I think it's so beautiful. And this is the combination of having a vision and then seeing it come to life. I really wanted a wrap dress to wear to this particular event, and I'm just so happy with the way that it turned out. It was actually very easy to put together. I really like that I made it for an event, because now I will always have those memories to look back on whenever I look at the dress, and I would definitely sew that pattern again in the future as well. Number 6 is a floral jumpsuit. There was a Simplicity pattern. I can't recall the number, but I'll put it on the screen, and I made it out of a Cloud 9 rayon fabric. I absolutely love this fabric. I've been hoarding it in my stash for quite a while, and I really love that I used it for a jumpsuit because I feel like it's just a little bit unexpected. I really like the style of this jumpsuit and the fact that I'm able to layer it with a top underneath so I can continue to wear it in the fall and spring. Probably not the winter, I think it's a little bit too cold for that, but I do really like that it's versatile and I love the style. Number 7 is my Vicky Sews Cheryl coat. I just talked about this in my recent makes video, and I love it so much. It's probably my favorite thing that I've made all year. I absolutely love that I was able to repurpose a quilt that I was never going to finish into this coat, which is just so cozy and feels like a hug whenever you wear it. Number 8 is the Avid Seamstress the Blazer. Now I actually haven't given you the details of this one, but I will do that in a makes video next year. So I'm not going to get into the details right now, but just suffice to say that I love the way that this turned out. It was a really fun sew, and I love the casual style. I think that it suits my lifestyle really well, and I just feel like I'm going to be wearing this again and again in the winter. Number 9 is my Rifle Paper Company Reynolds tank. This one I love because I took the time to do the flat felt seams. I did beautiful finishes. It looks nice inside and out. I love the fabric so much. It's really lovely. It was one of the last pieces that I bought from fabric.com, so RIP to fabric.com. And I really like the fit of this tank. I think that it works really well with my style, and I know that it's going to be a summer staple. And lastly, I have a Butterick top, which I cannot remember the number, but I'll put it on the screen. I made this out of a plaid cotton linen blend that I got from the fabric store. I love the fabric. I just think the print is really pretty and I like the green. And I really like how it meshes so well with the Butterick pattern. I like the sharp collar details and the fact that I made it sleeveless. I did take the time to make a muslin, and so I feel like I got the fit really well. And this was another one that I finished at the very end of summer, so I didn't get an opportunity to wear it that much, but I am excited to get it back out when the weather warms up because I really do love a good sleeveless shirt. And I think I'll get a lot of wear out of it in the future. So this video has been going on for quite a long time, but I just have one more thing that I want to talk to you about, and that is some of the goals and guidelines for 2023. I feel like I made a lot of progress in 2022 in terms of slowing down a little bit and taking my time, making sure that things are made really well, making sure that things fit. And I definitely want to continue that into 2023. I also think that I did curb some of my mindless purchases. Not to say that I didn't buy things, but I just feel like I was more intentional with my purchases, where I wasn't just trying to buy everything all at once because I thought it was great. I really tried to think harder and more carefully about whether it actually worked for me and my personal style and my lifestyle. So I want to continue that as well. So the first goal for next year is I actually want to make fewer tops, dresses, and skirts. I have a lot of those things, and maybe I don't wear them as frequently as some other things. And so not that I'm not going to do anything in 2023, but I just don't need as many. On that theme, I actually want to make more jackets, coats, cardigans, layering piece type things, and also more pants and shorts, because that is actually where some of the holes in my closet are. I'm still wearing a lot of ready to wear in those categories that doesn't necessarily fit me all that well, or it's getting really old and I need to replace things. So those are the areas that I really want to focus more on in 2023 and less on the skirts, dresses, tops. If I'm going to buy patterns in 2023, I want to make sure that I have a specific plan to make it within a 2-month window. So basically, like if I'm going to buy a new pattern, I don't want to just put it in my stash for later or to make someday. I want to have a specific plan for I am going to actually make this thing, because otherwise I should just be using what's in my stash because I have a very extensive pattern collection at this point. Along similar lines, I really want to try to not buy fabric except for 2 months out of the year. I usually splurge for my birthday in July, and then I buy most of the fabric that I'm going to buy for the year on Black Friday in November. And that's not to say that I can't buy anything the rest of the year, but I'm going to try really, really hard to just use my stash except for those 2 events, so to speak. Because like with patterns, I have a rather extensive fabric stash already, and I should be trying to use what I have. And finally, I do want to make a significant decrease in my stash. I've actually done well for myself in 2022. Even now, after my most recent Black Friday purchases, I still have less fabric than I started with in 2022. So it's nice that I have decreased it, but I haven't decreased it a lot. Like I've only decreased a small amount. Next year, I'd really like to decrease a much bigger amount. And I'm not putting a specific dollar amount or a yardage amount, so I know that it sounds a little bit vague, but I just sort of know what I mean when I say I want to have a significant decrease in my stash in 2023. I'll know what that looks like. So those are my goals for next year. And I just want to end this video by thanking every single one of you who watches my videos on a regular basis, or even if this is your first time. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. I know that there is a lot of content out there fighting for your attention, and the fact that you are willing to sit down with me and watch my videos, it just makes me feel so appreciated and so wonderful. So thank you. You guys keep me going, and I'm excited to go into next year and continue on this journey, and I hope that you will come with me. If you would like to see my goals from 2022 and find out how well I did on those, then you might want to check out this video next. Thank you so much for watching.